I'm here today to give you a BTC update. We're starting off with Bitcoin here on the short-term time frame, guys. As you can see, we do have an upwards sloping parallel channel here. As you can see here, the resistance coming down from this top side. First price at around 49,500. Second time when we reclaim that 50k sort of mark. You can see the resistance that we actually did form off that, smashing through all major moving averages here on the short-term time frame. And coming down to test the lower side of this parallel channel, the lower level of support that we did have here. Unfortunately, we have broke that recently, and it's been quite aggressive to the downside. We did have a quite strong trap zone in this area here, but unfortunately, the bounce, we had a little bit of a bounce there on the previous hourly wick there, but the bounce is just not... It's not held up. The support is not held there, and we've just basically started crashing down. So in terms of a short position, this is what I would be looking for now, because there's a definite breakdown scenario for you guys to be considering here. This is going to be the measure move, as you can see there, drawn in like so. As you can see, this is going to be the measure move. So let's do some percentages for this measure move, which is basically a price prediction of where Bitcoin could be going in the probably next 5, 6, 7 hours or so, right? So depending on the price action, how much the momentum is going to continue down here, because there's a few factors saying that we're going to bounce. So yeah, we'll get into them very shortly. But yeah, around 5.16% is going to be the point to be looking out for there. And you can see volume weighted ATR on this little green bad boy here. That's going to be lining up pretty famously with a lovely level of support there as well. And we know this bad boy can actually hold quite a lot of support when it wants to. When it doesn't want to, it says goodbye and then doesn't come back for a little while. But when we do reclaim it, you can see the support that we do get on it. So in terms of a bounce point for Bitcoin, this is definitely something to be looking out for, guys. I can't stress that enough. That's definitely something to be looking out for. In terms of shorting Bitcoin right now, in terms of an entry, what I would be looking for really is more of I would say a candle close outside of this trap zone. But for me personally, you can see this horizontal I plotted in at 47,285. You can see it's very strong, right? It's very, very strong in terms of a level of support. So so in terms of actually getting in before that, I think it might be a bit of a rookie error, right? I think it might be a bit of a rookie error to get in. If the gap between this trend line and this horizontal was considerably larger, then yeah, we could get in and use it as our first take profit, right? But unfortunately, it's not really that big. And if you were to like get in on a candle body close here, then you're going to be looking, to be fair, it's like nearly 1%, so it's not too bad. And that's, to be fair, it's probably more like that. So probably around 0.77% there. So yeah, not too bad. But for me, I want a bit more, as I said, I want a bit more confirmation for that. In terms of a take profit point after this, after clearing this horizontal, which is going to be the in a sense confirmation that we're going to be heading down further. And at this point in time, we are looking just basically to set another trap here. Quite interesting stuff actually happening. So yeah, this is definitely a point to be looking out for. If we are going to be shorting Bitcoin, it's going to be after 47,285, and then basically riding that wave down. I would be looking at take profit points first things first. One there, that's going to be something to look at there. It's a bit too close to have another one there. I would say probably bang another one there as well. And these are just reversal points to be looking out for, guys, because if we do see Bitcoin like cascading down drastically, we could easily bounce, right? We could easily bounce at any of these points. Like we've seen support actually get formed here before. We could literally bounce anywhere. So this is why we're staggering take profits all the way down and moving our stop loss to our entry point, depending on where that's going to be. Obviously, it'll be different, getting better entries here on the shorter term time frames. Looking at moving averages and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, Bitcoin does look fairly bearish here on the short term, and the short position is potentially on the cards to be looking out for, right? I mean, volume, we have since the smart money come through, very strong indeed, and that's probably what we're seeing now. But we know what happens once we've seen that smart money come through. We're likely to just see the dumb money like us guys, like basically just start trending it down, right? Not drastically, but just like fizzling out the trend until we see some sort of bounce back if this smart money isn't going to continue here in the volume, right? And if that is going to happen, we're probably going to see just a pretty flaccid downtrend, probably something along the lines of this, and then potentially a bounce or potentially more volume to the downside, more smart money coming into play there. But yeah, we'll just have to see how that does go. But yeah, a few scenarios looking hopeful there for profiting off this off Bitcoin actually dumping here, guys. Definitely a few points to be looking out for. I mean, as I was saying there, the bounce points, these take profits are very, very crucial, because if we don't actually take profit along this zone, and we bounce, we're going to get wrecked. And we're not about getting wrecked. We're here to make money. We're here to make cold, hard cash, right? So yeah, as you can see, we were just talking about this parallel channel, right? This giant parallel channel. You can see the support along this side. You can see the resistance along this side. If we are going to see us bounce here, and the support is going to be formed quite strongly, because if we look at the RSI, guys, that's not the RSI. If we look at the RSI ever so quickly, if it is going to... What is happening? It is going to load. We're near enough oversold, guys. And when we get to this oversold sort of level, we tend to usually have buybacks. As you can see here, buybacks coming through. Obviously, this is the December the 4th. Yeah, December the 4th, actually, insane crash. But at the end of the day, we do still buy back when we do see this oversold level get actually reached there. So there is going to be a bounce point to be looking out for depending on the RSI. So it's definitely another piece of information for you guys to be using there as well in terms of a bounce point for Bitcoin. But say we bounce now, because we are getting to this sort of area and we can bounce early, we're probably going to come back up and find support inside of this parallel channel again, inside of this ranging area, and then we can look at price targets around 51,000 again if we are going to see momentum and progression to the upside, sort of a micro uptrend forming, something along the lines of this, right? But please, please, please don't forget, we are still in quite a strong downtrend, guys. We are still in quite a strong downtrend just overall. I mean, we have been ranging in this area for quite a while now, since December the 4th, which, to be honest, is not bad. It's not like the worst case scenario, because it is showing that we do actually have quite a lot of stability in this area. But yeah, we're just gonna be trying to profit from any sort of scenario here. Let's have a look at the MACD and see what's going on with the old macadamia nuts, because we do have a very crucial horizontal point coming through as well. As you can see there, guys, we do have multiple levels of reversal here. In terms of, when I say reversal, I mean a reversal of the trend. So at this point in time, we do have a downtrend coming through, reversal coming through, and then obviously this is going to be a reflection in the price of a downtrend basically fizzling out. What have we seen now? We're on the brink of basically setting a potential low here. We're on the brink of setting a potential low in terms of the last literally like 5, 6, 7, 8 trends coming through here, and that's obviously going to be a bearish sign, guys, if we set a low there. But we are still on a very, very crucial reversal point. So what does that tell us in terms of the live price? It tells us that we could bounce. There's a bounce potentially on the cards here, guys. There is a bounce potentially on the cards if the MACD is going to be respecting that horizontal line there. So yeah, interesting stuff coming through on the short-term time frame. Let's move through to the longer-term time frame here, the mid-term. And as you all know, we've been in this pretty strong falling parallel channel for quite a while now, just probably since all-time highs, right? Since BTC was at its all-time high from before, you can see the resistance that we are finding along this downward sloping resistance line there, and the support along this upward sloping support line is it's pretty good until you have a panic sell-off like so, right? And we just need to remember, guys, trading Bitcoin. It's 10 times easier for us to like dump $10,000 than pump $10,000, right? So please take that into consideration. But if we are going to see us falling off a cliff yet again, we're basically set up for a potential short position again, guys. And that's going to be a measure move like so, coming out of the parallel channel here. We're going to be trading this breakout, guys. If we are going to break out here, this is definitely going to be a point to be looking out for. Now, we do have really quite strong points of support here. Really, really quite strong. So this is an indication that we're looking for a bounce here as well. Now, in terms of a price for that, guys, you can see the horizontal from the candle body close from the last insane crypto crash on December the 4th there. Now, from there, you can see that's around 46,300, 400, that sort of area there. So we need to take that into consideration for a bounce. If we're going to bounce, you can see the momentum to the upside there. It's pretty insane. With that being said, we've also got the green volume weighted ATR band coming down as well. Support. It's all correlating into this sort of area here. We have this massive trend line coming down from the all-time high trend pattern as a level of support again. So if we're going to bounce, guys, here's what I'm looking at. It's a 46,500 sort of area. That's a definite bounce point for Bitcoin right now. To explain what we are seeing here, I would say just jump to the RSI ever so quickly, because we do have a bearish divergence coming through, guys. As you can see there, we do have pretty strong bearish divergence. That's probably why we're seeing this the price of Bitcoin actually starting to dump now. So if we're going to be referencing this insane bounce point coming through here on the midterm, we need to talk about the potential for our take profits here on the shorter term time frame for that short position, and that's going to be sat around this 46,500, and that's just another reason why we plotted in these very, very, very strong take profit points there, guys. So yeah, interesting stuff. I would say a bounce of 46,500 here for the short term and the midterm, just glazing over it. Should we have a little look at the long term ever so quickly? Let's have a look at the DMI quickly, because this is interesting. We've just had a bearish crossover, actually. Yeah, we just had a bearish crossover recently around 13th of December. Yeah, as you can see there, guys, this is an indicator that I used to use quite a lot, but I've started to use it again because it's actually getting more reliable the more I use it, right? So as you can see, we do have these are bullish and bearish crossovers, guys, and this basically determines this this little pink line as well, this ADX line. It basically determines how strong the trend is going to be, because it's this is the directional movement index indicator, right? And if we do see the orange line crossing over with the blue, that is the negative crossing over with the positive, and that's basically meaning the negative is going to take the lead here, and that's why we are seeing downwards momentum. Vice versa, bullish crossover coming through here, bullish crossover coming through around here, bullish momentum to the upside, right? And vice versa, bullish momentum, bearish momentum, bearish momentum. You see what I'm saying here? So yeah, directional movement index is a great little indicator to be using here. You can see here as well here for Bitcoin. That's why I keep using it. It's just it's pretty good, right? You can see we've got another bearish crossover coming through here, bearish crossover coming through here, indicating some sort of short position, banging it right down, predicting that December the 4th sort of move to the downside, right? And you can see we've just had that bearish momentum come through, and that's probably why we're seeing us actually crash down as well with this bearish divergence as well there, guys. So yeah, some quite good information to be using there. And also this ADX line are being above, when it's above like 20 and 25, these are really crucial zones for like strong momentum, right? So yeah, that's another thing to be looking out for there if you are going to go and test this indicator out. It is free as well, guys, if you do want to go download it. It's called the Directional Movement Index, right? And it's yeah, free on TradingView. Now let's move on to, I mean, overall, I would say, just to sum up the midterm here, guys, 46,500 is really going to be, well, 46,000, yeah, that sort of area, 46,500, maybe a wick down to 46, and then bouncing from there. That's going to be the sort of ideal sort of scenario there. How are we looking for a short position coming through here? Yeah, we're getting ever so close to an entry position coming through there. So it's definitely something I'm going to be looking for Bitcoin coming through. I mean, we are dumping considerably, right? This is quite a steep downtrend. So ideally, what I do want here for a more healthy short position, I want to basically bounce off this 47,285, bounce up, come up to this trend line again, then come down from there, and then have it just, I want to set like a nice strong lower high, and then we can have the continuation down, right? That's what I'm going to be looking for my short position there. Now, in terms of the longer term time frame here for Bitcoin, this it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess, right? And the reason why I say that, guys, because obviously we do have this very, very strong upwards sloping parallel channel, right? Very, very strong in terms of resistance there, and in terms of support as well. Very, very strong indeed. Yes, December the 4th, insane dirt to the downside, right? I didn't get into my short here, very annoying. We would have basically shorted this all the way down, but unfortunately, I was asleep, right? I was asleep because it was in the middle of the night when it was happening here in England. So yeah, pretty annoying. But hey, it is what it is. When I was going to get my entry anyway, because the real entry point was losing 50,200, I think it was. We would say 53k, right? Losing 53k, that was obviously the very congruent point to be looking out for there. So I would have jumped down to short-term timeframes and gotten a nice short position there. Now, in terms of the volume profile visible range, now you can see actually these points here, very, very, very strong inside this ranging box that we do have here, guys. This ranging box that we do have here, you can see the consolidation that we do find in here quite a bit. Like there's quite like stale price action, and that's in a sense what we are finding here: consolidation, stale price action. So in terms of a low point for that, for a bounce point, we're going to have 44,634. That's going to be a point to be looking out for. But before that, I just want to say, if we're looking at this volume profile visible range, guys, we've got very, very strong points all the way down to 46,000. Yeah, 46,500. That's the sort of area that we were looking for there. And as you can see, if we do lose that, that basically implies this whole area is going to be acting very, very, very strong as resistance, right? Depending on how we go. Yeah, it's going to be a point to watch here. Losing the 200 EMA, not the best scenario in the world, guys. Still very bearish in terms of this trend, right? Since the all-time highs, we've been trying to get a bounce, right? We've been trying to get a congruent bounce. We were talking about 53K there for a bounce. We got a little one, nothing too crazy. And then obviously the insane dump to the downside, right? So overall, am I bearish or am I bullish? Now, this is where it gets really quite crucial, guys, because we're still in that sort of undecided area. Because if you're thinking like a whale, this is like the best scenario for them right now to be dumping all of these. Sorry, to have an all-time high actually get reached in November, right? And then obviously you've got Christmas and all that stuff coming. So all the new investors who were thinking about jumping into crypto, they basically thought we were going to hit 100K by the end of the year, right? And this was perceived across a lot of channels on YouTube and a lot of media and everything were saying 100K by the end of the year. It was like the big thing. So if you thinking like a whale, you're going to think, well, let's just dump the price at the end of January. Everyone's preparing for Christmas. Everyone's going to be running out of money. All the new investors are going to dump in because they're going to be like, oh, let's get rich quick and all that. When really they're just going on rumors. So if you think like a whale, let's dump the price. And then once December's over, start of the year, once everyone's panic sold and stuff, we hit some low prices, then we can have the continuation of this run, right? The continuation of this upwards momentum. And in terms of a reflection for that, we are seeing that across a lot of the charts in terms of my favorite charts here on Crypto Quant. And as you can see, BTC All Exchanges Reserve, that's just getting lower and lower and lower, guys. And this is basically how much BTC has been held on the exchanges compared to the wallets, right? And wallets, if they've been held in the wallets like MetaMask and Trust Wallet and stuff like that, right, they're going to be it's going to be a lot more bullish because people aren't looking to basically exchange them or trade them. So yeah, it's a very bullish sign to have this chart having the continuation down to the downside that we are seeing. We're seeing estimated leverage ratio as well. That's creeping up ever so slightly, but it's not even too bad anymore. We're literally all-time highs from before. So yeah, it's really not too bad. It's a nice position, nice place to be quite bullish there as well. I would say we've got the whale ratio is actually quite high, and that does indicate quite a lot of selling pressure to the downside as well there. So but yeah, that's been scurrying around. You can see the lows that we've been reaching recently. So you can see here on December the 9th, that's come down drastically, and that's a bullish sign when it comes down drastically like that. As well, open interest, not the worst thing in the world. We have seen drastically coming down from that. It's just a reflection on how many futures positions are open at this time, and it's fine. It's bullish. It's not bad. It's not a bad chart to be looking at. My head is still in the way for that though. It's not a bad chart to be looking at there, guys. We have seen considerable dumps to the downside. Basically, liquidating loads and loads of people, right? so the whales have done their stuff there. So what I would expect is just probably a pretty flaccid December over the Christmas period or something like that, and then sort of January. That's when we're going to see some really nice high prices. I mean, to be honest, I'd be worried if we started to lose some of these areas. Let me show some areas I would be worried about. I would be worried if we lost, say, 41, right? You can see 41K there. If we lose 41, you can see quite heavy resistance from this point. Very strong momentum to the downside. This is obviously a reflection of the previous May-April crash there. If we go back down to these lower highs from that very strong downtrend there, that's going to be very bearish, guys. So very bearish. And from there, easily, I'm talking easily 34K is on the cards, right? So please be aware from that, or be aware of that if we are going to lose those prices. But until then, we could even come down to 41, 42 before we bounce, right? Like we did in September there. It's absolutely fine to actually come down and bounce there, because we're still not really going to be invalidating any really crucial higher lows there. So it's absolutely fine for Bitcoin to be doing that, right? But yeah, I think that's going to be it there for Bitcoin, guys. But yeah, that's going to be it for Bitcoin. Let's move on to something else, right?